All right, everybody, on a Thursday afternoon, we bring back Michael Kirshner, the co-founder of UDDA Sports, UDDA, UDDA Man. And you can download their app, and I cannot believe, and I appreciate it very much, how the great friends have jumped onto this app and have gotten involved in all of these contests. I told Michael from the very beginning, I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm like, I really don't know what's going to happen. We've only been back on the radio 6 months. We got all these great listeners and viewers over here on YouTube. I don't know what's going to happen. And through the football season and the Super Bowl, you guys jumped in, and we had a great time playing these games. So Michael Kirshner's back. We're going to spend a few minutes because, I don't know, Michael. I mean, the whole thing about football betting seemed interesting. What am I going to bet on now?
We got lots of options. We're really designed to gamify the sportsbook experience. So when you trust me, when you walk into a sportsbook, if you've never been to a sportsbook in Vegas, it's one of the most sensory overload experiences that you can have. They got lines and big screens and games. And what we're trying to do, at least in our sportsbook, is to gamify that experience. So we got everything from NBA to NCAA basketball, hockey, soccer. We've got...
You got the boxing fight on Saturday?
We should have the boxing fight. I haven't checked. We have had some.
Do you have to say boxing fight? I mean, if you say boxing, I mean, or if you just say fight, do you need to say boxing fight? I mean, do you need to say tuna fish?
Well, he said the UFC fight, so that's why I said the boxing fight.
We've got all sorts of fights listed right now, and I don't know if these are MMA or boxing, but we got all sorts of fights listed. So check it out. I'm pretty sure we do have boxing. So I remember I did place a bet on an earlier boxing, but we have all sorts of things that you can wager on. And then, what we're really trying to focus on right now, and we've put a lot of focus on it, is some of the competitions we're developing. So we're doing multiple competitions a week. We actually start our competitions with the great friends of the Kaplan and Crew show. Now we have, half a dozen to a dozen different competitions a week. Everything from, we have a really cool one going tonight, NBA Pick 6. There are 6 games tonight on the NBA schedule. So you just got to pick the 6 games tonight. And it's, you go 5-1, you'll probably win. 6-0, definitely win. But we have bankroll contests in NBA, in basketball. So we have all sorts of different things going on, and just play around with it.
All right. So I'm going to make a wager right now. Browner, are you betting the NBA on UDDA? Or you have any UDDA bucks left, Browner? You got anything? You're on mute, dog.
Other than they gave you all the bucks that you didn't deserve, I got 20,000 earned, hard-earned UDDA bet bucks, 20 grand.
Mm-hmm. Alex, you got any UDDA bucks in your account?
I got 54,000.
Yes. I'm sitting on 308,000.
You're the winner.
Well, yeah.
I wonder why.
Our freaking promo code all goes to you.
All right. Well, how do we change that?
Brown, I'm going to hook you up, man. When we get off
yes,
this call, I'm going to get you some more UDDA bucks.
I'd like some.
UDDA ambassador. Alex, we'll get you two. We'll get you.
Look at Browner. He is a UDDA ambassador today. He's got on his UDDA hat.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not.
Ain't nobody else. See, like I said,
listen,
Mike,
I don't wear it on the show.
Mike.
This is I wear the UDDA hat every day on my walks with my doggy. I just don't wear it on the show. It's a little sweaty right now. My bad.
We got
Mike. I told you. You send me some. You send me stuff. I put it on, man.
I like black hats, Mike. You want to send me a black hat? I'm down.
We got you. We'll send you some more stuff.
All right. So here's the thing. I'm looking for the San Diego State Boise State game tonight.
That's right.
Yeah, I want to
go
play
down
that
to 6:00. It goes in order.
Okay, in order
of tip off.
Okay, very good.
You got to scroll and then go down and view more and just keep scrolling.
Okay, view more.
I believe.
I'm clicking on that. I'm clicking on view.
There's so many games tonight. What the hell?
You can go to your settings, by the way, if you want to view more games without having to click view more. Just go to your settings, and then you could check how many games you want to display at a time.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Under preferences.
All right, so wait a second. So USD is playing tonight. You guys know University of San Diego is playing tonight against Portland, and San Diego State is a 12.5, or USD is a 12.5 point favorite. I'm going to place a little wager there. I'll tell you that right.
San Diego State is a 6.5 point favorite tonight against Boise State. That game tips off shortly at 6 p.m. on Fox Sports 1.
I'm making a pretty large wager here on USD tonight.
I'm putting 10 grand on San Diego State on the money line.
On the money line. Okay, Michael. College basketball, the money line. San Diego State is a 6.5-point favorite tonight over Boise State. I think San Diego State will win the game and will win by more than 6.5. So I'm going to play San Diego State for $25,000.
Whoa. See what happens when you got all that cash?
Yeah. I'm
So you're
placing
playing
it.
you're playing a minus 6.5, right? You're doing the spread, not the money line.
Right.
Yep.
So, but I'm going to bet 25,000 bucks.
That pays more than the money line. That might be a better one.
Okay. And I want to know what is the money line here? What should I do?
So the money line is simply, if you just bet them to win, if you bet San Diego State to win on just the money line, lost the game.
A $10,000 bet on the money line pays off a little bit over $3,000.
Yep. So your 25,000 on the money line would pay a little over 9,000, but your 25,000 on the spread pays almost 23,000.
Now you get why that is, Scott.
No, explain that to me, because I'm trying to find the game again, because I lost it. I had it. I made the bet, and now I want to see what else I might want to do with the game. Go ahead.
So the money line, real simple. San Diego State, big favorite, 6.5 points. The money line's minus 275, which means in a traditional sports book, you'd have to bet $275 to win 100. Okay. Now the spread is 6.5. So if you think San Diego State's going to win by 7 or more, you bet the spread, and it's 110 to win 100. So it's the difference of just picking them to win outright, which will pay substantially less, or picking them to win by 7 or more.
Okay. All right. So I've picked them to win by 7 or more.
Yep.
Okay. I've got San Diego State winning big. Okay. Now,
I just knocked out this NBA pick 6 real quick.
Let me hear what you got.
I got Sixers over Mavericks. That's a 5-point favorite. I got the Nets over the Magic. That's an 8-point, 8.5. I got the Knicks over the Kings, which is the one I was iffy about, but the Knicks are playing great. Julius Randle, first-time All-Star. De'Aaron Fox wouldn't go anyway, didn't get selected. I'm taking the Grizz tonight over the Clippers because of the 8 points. The 8.5 points is a lot. The Grizzlies are playing well. Ja Morant's playing well. They're starting to get a rhythm, so I think they'll be able to hang in there. I think the Clippers will win, but I think they'll be able to hang in there. I got the Nuggets over the Wizards. So watch how it goes, Alex. Watch what happens when a good team plays the Wizards. And I got
the Nets lost to the Wizards
a long time ago. And I got the Pelicans over the Bucks.
Now, are you playing in a tournament of some kind, or are you? Where's this NBA
tournament.
pick 6?
That's the contest that Mike talked about.
So there's a contest tonight. It's an NBA pick 6. There are exactly 6 games on the schedule. So all we're asking you for is to pick the winners against the spread, and then you'll get a record. You can go 3-3, 4-2, 2-4, 6-0. I like Browner's picks. Browner and I have very similar picks. We're up. The only thing we're opposite on, Browner, is I took the Kings and I took the Wizards.
I entered the contest too. I went Sixers -5, Nets -8.5, Knicks over the Kings 1.5, the Grizz +8.5, the Wizards +7.5, and the Pelicans +9. Those are my picks.
Okay. I like this. So we're all getting into this game. We're all in on this game tonight.
Mike, why the Kings though? Why the Kings? I mean, that's a short spread, but why the Kings?
No, so first of all, you have to understand something. I grew up in New York City. I'm a lifelong Knicks fan, going back to the days of Bernard King, and I grew up going to Madison Square Garden, and that just I struggle so mightily, and it has nothing to do with this Knicks team this year, which is actually starting to excite me a little bit. But every time I put my faith in the Knicks, I always get disappointed, and that's going back till about 2002. So we're talking almost 20 years of disappointment. So
I think the addition of Tom Thibodeau, I think that roster's playing the way that he needs to play for them to win. So I think you're going to start to see them turn around. Quigley's been unbelievable, by the way.
First of all, I love Thibodeau. Loved him as an assistant in New York when he was the Knicks. I actually worked for the Bulls when he was the coach of the Bulls. He's a great coach. And if his players, he is one of the most demanding coaches in the NBA in terms of making his guys work hard and he runs them real tough in practice. And you have to have the right sort of players to buy into that. And the Knicks, I don't think, have any prima donnas. I think he may have the right group of guys to buy into his system. And obviously there's some familiarity with Rose. And look, they're surprised me so far. No good reason other than every time I put faith in the Knicks, they just disappoint me.
Hey, Michael, tell Browner, because Browner, I don't know if you've ever heard of this or not. I don't know if you know Michael's background. You know,
I know he worked for the Bulls.
Oh, yeah. Michael, tell real quick, because we got to hustle up here.
Yeah.
But just tell Browner a little bit about your background working in the NBA.
So, yeah, I worked, I actually started right out of college working in Madison Square Garden. And then shortly after that, went to go work for the NBA League office in New York. I worked there for about 6.5 years, 2000 through 2006. Then went to Tribeca Film Festival, went back to Madison Square Garden, and then got a job with the Cubs in Chicago, which brought me to Chicago, and then went to the Bulls after that. And then after going to games and concerts and spending 5 nights out till 11 o'clock at night, it got a little burnt out. So kind of left the industry, and we eventually moved to Austin, and we've been in Austin for 5 years. And other than the madness of last week in Austin, Texas, this is a great place.
Yeah, what happened down there last week? Give us people will call me and they'll go, "Hey, are you by the fires?" And I'm like, "No, why?" And they're like, "Well, they're in San Diego County." I'm like, "I know, but it's a really huge place." So what happened in Austin, and were you impacted?
So we honestly, the only house I know that didn't lose either power or water. So very lucky, very fortunate. We brought a bunch of people in. We had showers. So like our house was almost a warming hut, and we brought another family in. But essentially what happened was it snowed on Sunday night, and then we got this like freezing rain, deep freeze. And it never got above freezing again till I think Friday. Oh. And no plows, no salting. Where we live, it's very hilly. So obviously everybody knows about the power grid, but it was you couldn't get anywhere. Like my kids were literally sledding down the middle of the street. And for the first 24, 48 hours, it was like great. It was like Kids in Paradise, Christmas movie. But then when people started losing power and, water pipes were bursting, and it just overwhelming. Right. And I think, Texas really took one in the teeth last week. It was very hard on a lot of people. And it didn't discriminate, right? It didn't matter if you were rich or poor, lived in a nice neighborhood or a poor neighborhood. Just about everybody I know lost power or lost water. Most people lost both in the middle of a pandemic. And just the state, the city, nobody was prepared for it. The supermarkets were overrun. I remember trying to go to the supermarket. It was a 3-hour wait just to get inside the supermarket, then another 2-hour wait to check out, just to get basic supplies. It was a little touch and go there for a while. I think the community certainly rallied, blessed with some great neighbors. But I think hopefully the state learned a lot. And hopefully we don't see that kind of storm in this part of the country again for a long time. But
did you get one of those?
Yeah.
Did you get one of those massive electric bills?
I don't know yet, because I haven't gotten my bill yet. I've told I've told Austin Energy isn't necessarily tied to the rates, but I don't know. I'm kind of half expecting a pretty high bill, but as far as I know, I'm not expecting to be like 30,000 times. Because if that's the case, I don't even know if I'm going to pay like double or triple. I think that's outrageous, but I don't know. Mike, I'll let you know as soon as I get the bill.
Go ahead, Alex.
No, I was saying my fiance's sister lives in Austin, Texas, and she's a property manager. So she had not only was she experiencing everything, but she was also in charge of buildings where everybody was experiencing it. It was burst pipes, no energy. She would get like in and out energy, and she would get all her blankets, throw them in the dryer, and then until the power ran out, and then take them out. Her mother, they just bought property in San Antonio, just incredible plumbing damage everywhere. It was kind of scary, I guess, because she was by herself. And yeah, man, it was from secondhand accounts. Michael, you got very lucky because
we got very, very
they
lucky.
got very lucky because the stuff that she went through sounded like I don't even think she's gone to the grocery store yet, to be honest.
Yeah, I went on, I'm trying to think when I went, maybe Tuesday. They were still like no water, no eggs. We had a boil water notice, which just expired yesterday. So we're able to actually not have to boil our water anymore. But wow. I mean, and what's crazy, it was the whole state. You know how big Texas is? It was the whole state. I mean, that's just a massive amount of land to lose power. So, I mean, hopefully it's it's devastating damage, but hopefully it's a learning experience.
You don't think about it until it happens to you. And that's, I think, Texas is now, hopefully the leaders are realizing that it could, crazy stuff happens
Dude,
everywhere
right.
now.
This is the planet floating around in a solar system.
Yeah.
You don't know when crazy stuff is going to happen. Hey, Michael, everybody's going to get onto UDDA Sports, UDDA Man, UDDA. We're going to have everybody download the app. And then one quick time here, just give everybody a quick tour, an audio tour on how they can get into this contest.
Yeah, so real easy. You go to the main page, you click contest. This is a public contest. There's an entry fee. I think the pick six entry fee is 1,000 UDDA, so it's 1,000 UDDA to enter. I believe it's a winner take all contest. So if we get 80 people, there'll be a 80,000 UDDA prize pool. And actually, I take that back. It's multiple winners in this pool. So you just go to contest, you pick the NBA pick six, you enter and you pick the 6 games. You have to pick all 6 games. I cannot stress that enough. In a pick six, you have to pick all 6 games in order to be eligible to win.
All right. The app is called UDDA, UDDA. Michael, we'll talk to you next week. Stay warm down there in Austin, Texas.
Thank you all very much. Have a great week.
All right. Michael Kirshner is my man. Appreciate that guy. And I encourage everybody to get in. It's fun. And you know how much I love new technology and guys who are entrepreneurs and people who are taking risks. So download that app, get involved in the contest, and we'll all have a good time. And we'll see if Browner really knows as much about the NBA as he sounds like he knows.